It's Friday, January 18th, 2013. We're going to take a look at Patrick's new Snatch PR yet again. Patrick has been on fire in the last 2 weeks. He has PR'd his 1-rep max snatch over 30 pounds in 2 weeks, and his technique is the major reason why. Patrick is a very, very strong individual, very, very strong athlete, but his technique has needed a lot of work. And what you're seeing today is the culmination of probably a good 3 solid months of doing nothing but snatch, clean, and jerk. In this case, particularly the snatch. One thing we really work on in programming here, our warm-up is really focusing on hitting positions correctly. Positions. And Patrick has really cleaned up his technique as a result of that. So I'm going to shut up and I'm going to let the video play straight through at full speed, and then we're going to go back and go ahead and break down the lift.
Let's go.
Speed this up a bit.
Patience. Tight! Tight!
Okay, so the lift was obviously made. Looked pretty good. Obviously, there were some things that need to be fixed. Let's go ahead and break that lift down from each pull. So Patrick starts his dynamic start. I would like to see his chest up just a little bit more at the beginning of this first pull. So the bar is broken. Immediately what we see here, the butt starts to raise. And while I'm a big proponent on staying over the bar, I don't know if we should have that back that flat as we see through here. I probably want to have it a little bit more vertical, a little bit more of a lead with the chest. But the great thing about this is that Patrick is getting his knees back, and as we see right here, the shins, if you can kind of make out, are almost vertical. They kind of bend back a little too soon. But anyway, he's in a decent position for his second pull. It's not perfect, but it's getting there. Going forward to through the second pull, we already notice, and this is a habit that Patrick's had, just because he's such a strong athlete, he tends to muscle a lot of his lifts. And if we see here, his arms are already bent before he even finishes his second pull, which to me means that once we fix this, it's going to be a lot more weight going up. So the arms need to be a lot more straight. They have to be straight, period. So if we can fix that, like I said, once again, the arms are there. If we look at position 1, if we look back on the heels, we'll notice the heels are already up off of the ground. And he finishes. Obviously, the arm bend is clearly evident at this point. But one thing that's interesting about this lift, if we go back and look at this, the bar path has been relatively straight the whole way. It's not being kicked out by the hips. It's basically going straight up. So I'm happy with that. So Patrick's third pull, he's going under. Notice that the bar hasn't gone up that high. That's as high as it's going to get. Pat's coming down already right now. A lock, but notice that the right elbow comes unlocked a little bit. If this was an actual competition, that would be no white lights, obviously. But, you know, hell, we're in training. He locks it back out. He gets tight. And he stands back up. Good lift.